Hey guys, it's Denise. Uh, Welcome to my channel if this is your first time watching. And before anyone says that I'm being sexist, I am not saying this to all men. I am just making an observation in what I saw at the store that I was just in. I had to run out. I went out early, first thing, went to Dollar General, which I figured would be the least crowded store near me. As I pulled in, there were only a couple cars, so great. Walk in. Now, this is just 2 days after we've been advised to cover our faces when out in public with some sort of mask. Not a medical mask, if you've been watching the news at all, if you're not living under a rock, you know that the sort of homemade cover your face recommendation, that's not going to stop you from catching the virus if it's floating in the air or someone sneezed right next to you. But what it's going to do is, if you're one of the, what they're realizing are many, many asymptomatic people walking around feeling fine but spreading the virus, if you have a face covering on and you cough or sneeze, it's stopping you from spraying that out. Not just that people will inhale it. Pardon, my light seems a little off today. But also spraying it onto like all the products that people are then going to touch. So one person who doesn't know they have it, who's out there walking through a grocery store, for example, could be spreading it through their community. My community so far has very few cases. We're kind of out in the sticks. Of course, they're going to go up. But I just wanted to point out something I thought was interesting today. I fashioned a face mask out of something I had at home to make sure that my nose and mouth were completely covered. And I was in the store for probably a total of 15 minutes or so. Every single woman, whether they were an employee or a shopper, had their face covered. So they were taking the effort not to protect themselves, because again, this doesn't protect you. This protects other people from catching it from you if you don't realize that you're contagious because you're one of those people who still feels good but is spreading it. Every single woman in the store was wearing a face covering of some kind. Not one man in the store was wearing a face covering. Not one. And two older guys who should know better are standing out front, not 3 feet away from each other, chit-chatting like, business as usual. No face covering. They're getting ready. They both have parked their cars and getting ready to walk in. I was on my way out. And no face covering, getting ready to go into the store. The other guy I had already seen in the store had no face covering. And these two are standing right next to each other talking. I'm sorry, but to me, now that we know that healthy people wearing the face covering, healthy people who feel good, who don't have symptoms, you're wearing that covering to protect everybody else. You're not wearing it just for yourself. In fact, it's not helping you, it's helping everyone else. It's keeping, if that sneeze or cough, from spreading that 6 or 7 feet that it could otherwise spread. So every woman in the store was making sure to do their part not to be spreading it. Even though nobody looked sick, I didn't hear anybody cough or sneeze. They were doing it purely because we're being told this is going to help slow the spread of this disease. And yet not one man in the store, or the ones walking into the store as I was walking out, had their face covered. As far as I'm concerned, they may as well have been flipping the bird to everyone in that store, because they were saying, I don't give a crap if I'm one of the people who's spreading this around. I can't take the time to cover my face because what? It's not manly. It's not, you can't force me. Like, I don't know what their reasoning, or I should say lack of reasoning is, because it's unreasonable. It's such a simple request. You can cover your face with anything, with a handkerchief, with, they're not talking about surgical masks here, people. The hospitals need those. Just any homemade covering, just so that if you cough or sneeze, it doesn't go out into the air or land on the items around you that other people are going to touch. Again, before you call me sexist, I'm not saying this is happening everywhere. I can only tell you about the store that I was just in. And to me, if you're going to be out in public and not cover your face, you might as well be giving the finger to every other person you walk by who is covering their face, because they took the time to protect you, but you couldn't be bothered to take the time to protect them and their family. So shame on you people who are out there going into stores without your face covered. And I know I'm not usually angry sounding, but when I saw that, and they're ignoring the social distancing, they're ignoring the fact that, hello, do you not see the rest of us walking around with our faces covered? The rules apply to everybody. You can't be selective. Other people are doing their part to keep you and your family safe. You need to be doing your part. Don't go into stores. Don't go out in public if you're too lazy to put on a mask.